Welcome to Backwater Casting. I'm your host, Rick Greene. In today's show, we're going to fish 3 different locations on the St. John River. We're going to start off at Oromocto for smallmouth bass. Our guest today is Paul Melanson, who's a very experienced striped bass angler, but he's pretty new to smallmouth fishing, so he's going to have a lot of questions for us. I started out here because there's a little spot up here where the grass just starts, so they're not always there.
So Rick, what would be like your go-to smallmouth bait? Like what is your go-to, your must-have in your tackle box?
I guess I would almost have to say a tube, but again, it's a seasonal thing. This time of year, topwater can be fantastic, even all day. Spring and fall, I like jerk baits. But I guess the tube would have to be the one for a basic. There's one.
That's cute.
Second cast.
First fish.
Just tearing her up this morning. So far, 5 minutes into the day, I have the most fish and I have the lunker. Can't beat that. Again, it's not a monster because he's coming up pretty good, but so he's 3 or 4 times bigger than the one on the last cast. So we're going in the right direction this morning. There. So we're getting up there. If we could double it again, we'll be laughing. That was on the tube, yeah. Now if that doesn't work out, I've got another one rigged here for Paul. Little fish. He was in the grass. Size is going backwards again. We're going down, we're going down.
So what's that, about a pound, if that?
Oh, not even, no. Like, it'd be a 12 or 14 ouncer at the most.
Yeah. So Rick, I noticed we stopped by these logs here. Is that something you always want to look at when you're out smallmouth fishing? You know, something you don't want to go by without casting into?
Yeah, I won't drive by a tree without throwing at it just because it's a piece of structure stuck out in the water, and usually it's isolated.
Okay.
So again, you know, we had to look at that. Usually if they're going to get it, they'll get it on the first drop and nothing touched that. But the water's down quite a bit, and those logs, I never noticed them the last time I was on the river, so I mean, it was definitely worth coming over and having a throw at them. You got that top water on again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just stay outside that grass edge and we'll just go down.
Oh yeah, that's a cute one.
What have you got there? Holy smokes.
I think
that's going to be tough to beat for the little guy.
I think I got the smallest fish of the day.
Look at the size of that fish to that bait. What was he possibly thinking about?
That's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
Well, I seen something boil at it, and I'm like, oh, you missed it. And I'm like, wait a sec, there's something there.
I'm going to stop us here for a minute, Paul, because we stopped out from that log. I haven't touched the trolling motor, and we're down 200 feet. So we've definitely got some current going, even though it says we're right at the peak of high tide. So we'll slow down, try this for a minute, and then we're going to jump down the next spot.
Would you primarily look for some points with some currents where, you know, maybe some bait fish are traveling through and the smallmouth are going to be sitting on the other side of that point?
Yeah, current's almost always a good thing because it does position the fish. And like you said, on a point like this, even though that doesn't look like much, when you look at the map, there's a pinch point here where you've got a little bit of deep water and a shallow on either side of it, and they like that. It's the river. When you talk about current in the river, it is a bit hard because you've got an incoming and an outgoing tide.
Just missed me.
Any size?
Yeah, he was not too bad.
Yeah, you got the tide incoming and outgoing, but the dam also messes it up because you don't really know when they're going to run water, and that can affect it. It can affect it as well. Oh, we got a double header. Not a big double header, but we got a double header. Yeah, it's bigger than mine.
Hang on there, I'll get him.
Yeah, these are the little guys.
Nice little double hitter.
7 or 8 years old.
A little better? A little better than the first one.
He's getting up there, yeah.
Yeah, Rick, that hit really close. Like I was almost ready to take that top water out of the water, and he hit right at the boat.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, you gotta love when they're chasing them.
Try and kind of keep a note if you hit the grass, and you just want to be on the edge of that. No, boys, we're in the peanut gallery today. Holy smokers. Well, he's a little bigger than I thought, but he's still a peanut gallery. I almost thought there was a flash of another one underneath him. Okay, hold on, there you go. Oh, he's been eating too. That's quite fat right there. He's had a meal. He's gonna have another one. Oh, there was a bulge in his belly. You could see the bulge in him, so he'd had a meal lately. And he was still eating, which is good.
He feels like a nice fish,
So
right?
he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He's bigger than anything I caught today, so that makes him real good. I'm happy. Oh,
Yeah.
he'd be in the high twos. He's getting up there.
Yeah, it's an upgrade from that 6-inch fish this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a beautiful fish, Rick.
Yeah, good one. Oh, let's get up. Yeah. He's probably
Yeah, he's
2 1/4, maybe a little more.
There he goes. Yeah, Rick, my fish there, he seemed to hit pretty lazy. You know, I thought I was on some weeds at first, but it's just a very subtle hit, very subtle strike on it.
Yeah, I always say sometimes the biggest fish you're ever going to get is the lightest bite, because I think the small fish charge it and smash it to try and kill it, and the big guy just opens his mouth and pulls it in. Yeah.
It looks a little nicer too.
Yeah. Well, this is what I expected here. I was shocked that we weren't catching it.
Well, you were just saying we weren't in the prime spot yet. You dialed her up a little bit, and then look.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh. They're full of it too, boys. This warm water, they're eating big. You know, they're full of energy. And the river fish are all current, so they fight. Come on. Was he still down there? He's not wanting to come up.
No, he's got a good fight to him.
There he is. Oh,
Oh,
there he
that's a nice
goes.
fish.
Yeah, here he comes. There he goes. That might be your 3-pounder. Wrong rod. He's on the wrong rod. Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he's a nice sized fish.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's easily 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's easily 3. Why don't you grab me a picture with your phone and we'll have some pictures for the website.
Push him out a little bit there, Rick. I'll send you both pictures and see which one you like. That's a beautiful fish.
It's a nice one. Now we'll get you one of those. That is a 3.
Hey, Rick, that was a nice fish. What did you catch that on?
That's actually on that new tube. I've never used it before. It's kind of a 2-tone laminate. It's kind of a green pumpkin back and a kind of pearlescent belly. I like the belly. I like that pearlescent look to the belly.
So, Rick, what's the weight on those tubes we're fishing right now?
These are 1/8 ounce head, and that's, for me, that's what I throw 90% of the time is a 1/8. I've got to be fishing really deep or really fast current to go heavier than that. Size?
Feels all right.
He was out too. He's outside.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He is pulling too.
Yeah, he's pulling pretty good.
Now we got to stop and watch. Ooh, yes, sir. Attitude.
There he is.
Oh yeah, there's a nice fish right there.
Yeah.
You want a net, or are you gonna?
Oh, I can flick him probably.
It might be your 3-pounder. We'll have to wait till he gets out.
It's a nice fish.
Yeah, not quite 3 yet. No, we're not there yet.
Still fun.
Absolutely.
Cleaning that backlash out, and
Mr. Smallmouth obliged you.
he decided to grab a hold of it. Send that guy back.
Yeah, nice fish.
Trying to get that backlash out, Rick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, gee, I must be on bottom. And then I felt the drag just start going. I said, no, that's a fish. Try that again.
Yeah, I'd fix your hook first, yeah. He liked it slow on the bottom, obviously.
Yeah, just sitting there, eh? Yeah, Rick, I got that on a 5-inch Cinco Texas rig with tungsten 1/4 ounce weight on it.
Welcome back to Backwater Casting. In this part of the show, Paul and I have moved down to the Gagetown area to try some different things. You're going to quickly see why safety is an important issue for us in the boat. We're going to talk a little bit about Paul and his work, which is, for him, lucky it's all on the water.
Well, that's pretty sweet, Rick. You called them out.
Yeah, I just called him for the wrong rod.
You said, hey, there's a fish behind us, and I said I'd take care of him for you.
That on that Carolina Senko again?
Yeah.
Or weighted Senko?
Nice fish.
Yeah.
Swallowed that.
Not bad.
Oh, nice little fish. Not a bad little fish.
It's been a while since we had a fish.
Yeah,
Makes
it's been
makes
been
him
long.
a good fish. Makes him a good fish.
So I was using Carolina rig with a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight on a Senko with a 3/0 offset hook. After you said, you know, he's right under the boat, I just gave it a little toss out, let it sink to the bottom, and I just kind of give it a little flick there, and then he was on it within seconds. It was pretty sweet to see the fish on the rants and then to have him strike right away. It's technology, you gotta love it.
That's
why I wear sunglasses when I'm fishing right there. Rick set the hook on a big fish, it spit the hook close to the boat, and I caught it right in the glasses. If I hadn't had glasses on, we would have been going to the ER. You can see the scuff right on where it hit.
Yeah. No.
That's why I wear glasses every time.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about that on the show before, about the necessity of wearing a decent pair of sunglasses because of the impact resistance, for one. You only got one pair of eyes, you can buy new sunglasses.
He's a little peanut too.
We're in the nursery, boys and girls.
Yeah, you hit that as soon as I get to the water.
So where the heck are the big fish? Boys, yeah, they're all. It's a good sign for down the road. Well, Paul, why don't you take a second and tell the folks what you do for a living? And I know you have a love of the water, so it extends into your work, I hear.
Yeah, so Rick, I work for Cooks on their tugboat, the Hudson Bay Explorer. The chief mate on board. So my responsibilities on board would be doing navigational watch on the opposite shift of the captain, running the deck crew. I really enjoy my job. It allows me to get lots of time fishing. I currently work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, so I have 2 weeks to do, you know, whatever I want for fishing. You know, make those trips, you know, up here to Fredericton with you on a Wednesday. It's a great job. I can't see myself doing anything else besides working on the water. And the first thing I want to do when I get off the water is get back on the water. So it's in my blood.
So how big is the boat that you're on? And is that a proper term, boat, or would you call that a ship or a vessel, or what's proper terminology for that?
So the tug that I'm on now is currently roughly 130 feet.
Serious boat.
By 30 feet, and it's twin screw powered by a couple cats. We also have a main winch on the aft deck.
With the tug, do you just haul other boats, or do you have other duties that you do with it? And how big a boat would you haul?
We tow all different sorts of things there. You know, last shift we towed a 250-foot vessel in the dry dock. We could be towing salmon cages one day. The next day we're fueling barges up and giving them water, etc.
You have a little bit of a mixed bag. You got to do a bunch of different things depending on what the demand is that day.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you know, one day you'll be towing, the next day you'll be tied up, you'll be chipping and painting with the boys, getting some maintenance done, you know, giving the engineer a hand down below with the oil changes. And, you know, we're a 4-person team, and everybody's got to kind of help each other out once in a while and get the job done and have fun with it.
Might be one right under the boat.
Oh wow, there's one under the boat right now. Yeah, he just hit.
He was under here a second ago, so you should have him. Boys, I have no idea what's going on today, but today is definitely the nursery day. We're catching piles of these little fish. No idea where the big girls have gone. You know what we're going to do here, Paul? Got this an island, so
Okay.
the other channel's coming in right there. We come down the outside, that's the inside.
Okay.
There's a big grass bar, comes all the way down here. There's really deep water on the other side, and there's a spot out here that's a little bit deeper, like a shelf on it, but still, you know, maybe 6 or 7 feet, that can be good. And then it drops off on the end as well. So we're going to try a couple of different spots on that.
So what do you think we should be using for a technique in this deeper water? Like
on the deep water, I'm definitely going to try the drop shot again.
Okay.
I've got 2 rigged. I got one finesse rigged and one in your face kind of rigged with that big Senko.
So
They both
we're marking
work.
some fish right there right now.
Yeah, that's one guy suspended about
Yeah,
8 feet above the bottom. He's actually not bad.
yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
size mark.
Yeah, he's sitting right there. So hopefully all his buddies are tucked in on the point. Suspended fish can be hard to catch because they're moving and you're out in open water, no way to mark them and stay on top of them.
So what kind of weight are we going to be using where we're in this deeper water?
We're going to do a 1/2 ounce here.
We're going to be going half
Yeah,
ounce? Okay.
A lot of guys like finesse weights on a drop shot. I want it on the bottom now. If I'm in 22, 23 feet of water, I want it on the bottom right now, and a 1/2 ounce puts me on the bottom right now. It makes no sense to me to put a finesse weight on and take, 60 seconds for it to get to the bottom.
Yeah, Rick, I think I'm going to change up to a white tube now, and I'm going to run a rattling jig just to see if I can get a little noise. It's been quite quiet, so I think this change up might bring him in.
Oh yeah, he's okay. Yeah, this one's all right. This could be a go-to-weigh in tournament style fish. Yeah, he's decent. He's decent. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's another, that could be a 3 too. Might be. So bizarre, right? Just 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch, and then boom. Yeah, he's not a 3. Where'd you put that hook? Right in the roof of the mouth, nice and simple. Don't you dare. Anyway, now if we could catch about 20 more of those, we'd be having a great day out here in the St. John River.
How big was that one, Rick?
2.5. He looked bigger in the water. They always look bigger in the water, but he looked like he might have been a 3, but he was a 2.5 or so. So we do definitely have incoming tide because we're going up. So the grass on the island is about that deep. So we'll fish the edge of that and see what happens. Maybe 2 pounds at the most. Shallow, shallow grass for this guy. There's no rhyme or reason to the fishing today.
No, it's been
Or the lack of fishing would probably be a better word.
yeah, it's been pretty quiet there that last hour or so.
Yeah, marking those fish on that deep water for the drop shot, but they just would not bite. They would not bite. Yeah, I thought I saw that fish flash more, like I got a couple of perch bites there, and I thought I saw a bigger flash as that came off the weeds. So I just dropped the rod and let it go back to the bottom, and that guy was on it. Welcome back to Backwater Casting. Well, in this final segment of the show, I have a new experience with Paul taking us down to the Reversing Falls to try for some striped bass.
Okay, so right now I'm throwing a 2-ounce river tide jig bass candy, and I skirt them as well, just give it a little more fluff. They're 10-inch rubber, and anywhere from 1 ounce to 2.5 we'll be running today.
It's definitely a much heavier setup than I'm used to using. This would be very similar, maybe even a bit bigger than some of the stuff that we've used in Florida for saltwater. What do we got for depth here roughly?
You're right around so closer to shore, you're probably in around 10, and then as you work out, probably 25 to 30 feet.
Give a couple of casts to get the feel of this thing. Okay. And they're gonna be in or out?
I like to hit towards the shoreline and rip back towards me, and just work them back nice and slow.
I'll get a workout just lifting the rod all day today. She's pretty stout gear.
Yeah, they're definitely, they got some backbone to them, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Falling in that good tide, right? You know, it's starting to cool down a bit in the, like around 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's a paddle tail with a 1.5 ounce river tide jig on it. And then I also put a skirt on for a little more action in the water.
Paul, that you're pouring your own jig, so what put you into that kind of a hobby, I guess?
Yeah, so Rick, I just started last year. I decided to start making my own baits. I wanted to dip into the market. I seen an opening there. There wasn't a lot readily available. It's something that we use down at the falls, Miramichi. We use it all the time, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to start making some, and isn't it fun catching a fish on your own jig? We've seen it here though. You fish hard, 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 all tide long. Just keep that tip up with him. Grab it right here. So what do you think, Rick?
Oh, he feels good. Like you say, they fully utilize that current.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
That's a nice fish, yes, sir.
There you go, Rick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's not a bad size, Rick. I'd say he's probably 31 inches, 32. You mind if I get a picture of you with the lure in its mouth?
Yeah, we need pictures. Now, I'll say one thing. That fish looks like it's been caught before, so there's the power of catch and release.
Yeah.
Somebody's tore him right there.
Yeah.
That's an old hook mark right there. Catch and release does work, folks.
And now he's around for other people to catch.
Neat. So there you go, river tide jigs. Bounced her off the bottom. I missed the first one, got this one a minute later.
That was awesome fish, Rick.
That was a good fish.
Yeah, that was great.
We got real heavy St. John River current. The reversing falls is just in there behind us. And those fish really, really utilize that current.
So let's get that big one, Rick. Nice 20, 25 pounder. Whole different ball game.
I got another one. So that's basically, in 4 casts, I've hooked 3, but I lost the first one. And these are definitely nice fish. That's at least the same size. I can see them back there.
Oh, taking a run there.
Yeah. 50
Soon as you
pound
seen
power
that boat.
pro. Yeah, he decided to go on the other side. That's a nice fish right there.
Just let me know if I'm in
I
your
think
way.
he's bigger.
Yeah, he looks a little thicker.
Yeah. Okay, I'll bring him up.
There we go. Awesome job, Rick. So what do you think of those baits so far?
Now, how can you say the bait's not awesome when you're catching big stripers?
You want to take a measurement? Just do a quick one. Just do a quick one. Oh, I'd say probably 30 inches.
That was pretty neat. Those are nice, solid fish, big fish. I noticed the current has changed just in the last 5 minutes. So what's that going to do for us here?
So we probably got about another 15 minutes or so fishing this spot. Then the current's going to start rushing a little harder. Then we're going to make a move and stage up in our next spot. There you go, Rick.
Oh, down he goes. Come here, darling. Ah. Big nets, big nets.
Big nets, gotta love them.
Yeah,
Good job, Rick. Yeah, they're feisty when they come out of that river.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Nice little schoolie there.
Yeah, it's good for the future of the
Yeah.
fishery for sure. Yeah. Paul, that was a great time out there today. I have never ever been on the water down here in that reversing falls area, and definitely a different experience trying to fish stripers in a heavy current. I mean, that is just absolutely violent current out there.
Yeah, it's something special.
Yeah,
I really enjoy it.
You take a minute. I'd like to thank Mark Dwyer on too, because Paul had some boat issues and Mark lent him his boat. And he's a good guy, and shows you what kind of person he is to help a guy out in need. So thank you, Mark.
Yes,
Again, thank you so much.
Yeah,
That was
thank you.
Great
It's
of
great
you to
having you
take us
guys out
there
today.
and show us another part of New Brunswick that I've not seen before.